We're going to start off by reading the text called Hurricane. Here's a quick preview. Then we're going to, before we do that, we're going to review some vocabulary. And we're going to talk about cause and effect some more. I want you to listen to that as I read to you. And then we're going to try to create your own sentences. After that, you'll be able to take a little break. We'll play a game and we'll go into our literacy activity. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
All right. So, for our vocabulary review, you're going to have some of the same words we've been working with, the words that you're really good at, and I want you to tell me the definition of these words. So let's see if you can correctly match the words to the definitions. These are words you've been seeing for a couple weeks in a row, words that you've shown progress with. So I bet you can correctly match all of them today. Assume to guess without knowing. But that's correct.
And then as soon as I said it, you said but I thought maybe that would you make the sensory bottle?
Popular. A lot of people like you. That's also correct.
Meter stuff. But then we can put water and put other stuff like Lego. Or some kind of toy or buttons.
An event that happens because of an action you made is indeed a consequence. Okay. Rumor is definitely a lie about someone that spreads to other people.
Like your schedule. I think it's okay for afternoon because it's crazy there. As long as he doesn't I mean that's my opinion. But doing the swing, he did ask for a swing. You can make an icon.
Gossip. Something that grows into something that did not start. Not quite. What is something that grows into something that did not start as? What is that? Mutate. There you go. That's a better match. Gossip is to talk about someone without them knowing, and it usually is negative. Unexpected is definitely something unlikely to happen. Couple more. Expected is something likely to happen. Down to the last two. These are the two you often confuse.
Okay, are you ready to come work?
Wrinkling your forehead furrowed, kind of like you furrowed your brows.
A little bit.
And so therefore, when you wince, you make a facial expression of distress. Correct. Great job, Sean. So you're getting better with these words. Remember, you can use these words in everyday life, not just when you're reading, okay? So I want us to take a look at the text for this week. We're going to walk through it, and I just want you to look at the title. We're going to look at the headings, and we're going to look at all of the visuals and just try to predict what the text will be about. So, what's the title?
Hurricane.
Hurricanes. Do you know about hurricanes already?
Yeah.
What do you know about hurricanes?
It's windy.
It's very windy. What else?
There's big waves.
Big waves. Do hurricanes happen in Ohio?
No.
No. Where do they happen?
Near the ocean.
Near the ocean and other large bodies of water. Correct. You can just keep moving through. There's another picture. Let's look at the table of contents. What are some of the topics that we're going to read about?
A hurricane is coming. What is a hurricane? How hurricanes form. Where hurricanes form. How hurricanes are classified. How we study hurricanes. How we predict hurricanes.
So from this, do you think this text is true or false?
True.
Therefore, it's nonfiction, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just keep looking through at the pictures so we can kind of expect what else we're going to read about. This looks like a really big natural disaster, huh? There's some pictures that kind of explain what happens when hurricanes occur. Three stages of the steps of hurricanes forming. What do you think this picture is showing?
Hurricanes.
And this is on a what? What is this a picture
Is
of?
this a picture of a girl or them?
The world.
The world, the map. So it kind of shows where locations, what specific locations hurricanes could occur. And what is this picture of?
Questions.
A tree fell down.
Why do you think? How do you think this tree fell?
A hurricane.
Because of the hurricane, correct? It looks like they continue to show a little of the damage that a hurricane can cause. Do these pictures make you think hurricanes are pretty serious?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Girl, good job.
Last week when we talked about cause and effect. Do you remember what cause and effect means?
Girl or they?
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit more about cause and effect?
Causes something to happen.
Girl or they? Where does it go?
And what is effect?
Effect
It's
means
they. Girl or they?
So let me give you a hint. Let's say the cause is the reason why something happened. So what's the effect?
Good job, Kate. There's 2 weeks, 6 more.
when it happened.
It's actually what happens, right? So something happens is the effect, and there is something that caused that effect. Okay, so there is 3 sentences here. Well, a couple more than 3 sentences here, and each one is an example of cause and effect. Could you read the first sentence to me?
Boy or girl?
I never brushed my teeth, so I have 5 cavities.
Do you have a pencil?
Yeah.
Would you underline the cause of that sentence for me?
Boy or girl?
So the cause is why something happens.
Is this a boy or girl? Boy or girl?
Absolutely. I never brush my teeth. So could you circle the effect? What's the effect of never brushing his teeth? So I have 5 cavities. Okay, perfect. What about the next sentence?
John made a rude comment, so Sue pressed him.
So what was the cause in this sentence?
John made a rude comment.
Correct. And the effect of John's rude comment was what?
Attention.
Well, he probably did want attention, but in this specific case, after he made the rude comment, what happened?
Susie pressed him.
Right. Could you underline the cause for me?
Like we cannot get him to wake up, so should we like lay down for a little bit? Or
All right. Move on to the third sentence. What does that sentence say?
Since it was so cold outside, Jimmy built a big fire.
What was the effects in that sentence? What happened?
Yeah, if you give him like 5 minutes, he should be fine. He doesn't like
Nope. That's what caused the event to happen. What actually happened? What did Jimmy do?
she said.
No, wait, you probably didn't look at that.
Oh yeah.
What did Jimmy do? Jimmy built a
Yeah,
big
if he-
fire.
if he falls
So
asleep,
that
he's
was
out.
caused
He's,
because
I mean,
what?
he's not.
Yeah.
He might get a little grumpy, but like he'll wake up.
What caused?
It was cold outside.
It was so cold outside. Correct. Look at number 4. Can you read that sentence to yourself and identify the cause and then share with me?
We went to the grocery store because we were out of milk and eggs.
So what was the cause? Remember, the cause is why something happened. Let's pause. Last week we talked about a few signal words that show you when cause and effect occurs. So the word because is a word that always tells you right there, following because is going to be the cause. So because we were out of milk, we had to go to the grocery store. So the cause was being out of milk and eggs. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Running out of stuff does cause you to have to go to the store sometimes, right?
yeah.
Okay, look at the last sentence. It had begun to rain, so Sally and Jake ran inside. What's the cause? Correct. It had begun to rain, and the effect of that was what?
I can't buy Molly. I was gonna give her my money for my prom shirt.
Sally and Jake ran inside. Perfect. So, since you are able to identify cause and effect in these sentences, I want you to remember how you identify cause and effect as we read about hurricanes. Okay? I'm going to read the story to you, and as I read, I want you to follow along and underline any words you might not understand. Okay?
He just fell asleep at the table.
Hurricanes. A hurricane is coming. This just in from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. A hurricane watch is in effect for the Florida East Coast from Florida City to North Flagler Beach, including Lake Okeechobee. Do you know what hurricane watch is?
It's when a hurricane might come.
And so what is everyone doing?
Evacuating.
Evacuating or taking precautions, looking out to see how big the storm's really going to be, right? Hurricane Francis is about 555 miles east-southeast of Palm Beach and is moving towards the west-northwest at about 14 miles per hour. The message crackles over a radio at a small Florida cafe. The patrons look outside at a warm, sunny day and then out to sea for any signs of the approaching storm. There are none. However, the television shows a satellite image of a gigantic spiraling storm. A dotted line shows of the hurricane's path, and shaded wedge shows where the hurricane might hit the coast. The people in the cafe have already been hit with one hurricane this season, and they know they must prepare. Someone buy more plywood to board up windows. Others get supplies at the grocery store, such as water, food, and batteries. What's going on this page already, on the first page?
A hurricane's coming.
The hurricane's coming, and everyone, what are they doing?
Evacuating.
Getting prepared to see if they need to evacuate. You're right. The next morning, the wind speed picks up, and the sky and the sky clouds over. Some people further down the coast evacuate. There you have it, or leave their homes to get to safer areas. Winds reach hurricane strength, bending over palm trees as if they are made of rubber. The wind roofs off buildings, and flying objects become deadly. High waves and rising water flood low-lying areas on the coast. Falling trees break power lines. Some residents who were not evacuated sit in the darkness of their homes, listening to the storm's progress on their battery-powered radios. Finally, the storm moves inland and the wind slows down, but drenching rains and flooding remain. The next day, the sun comes out and people begin to costly cleanup. What is a hurricane? We all have experienced wind and rainstorms, but what makes a hurricane so different? Hurricanes are gigantic circular storms that can be hundreds of kilometers wide. When they occur in the Pacific Ocean, they are called typhoons. Have you ever heard of a typhoon before?
What's a typhoon?
So it says, when hurricanes occur in the Pacific Ocean, they're called typhoons. In the Indian Ocean, they are called severe tropical cyclones. So those two are just different words for hurricanes. In the Atlantic Ocean, they are just called hurricanes. No matter what they are called, winds over hundreds of kilometers per hour, inches of rain, and high seas cause death and sometimes billions of dollars in damage. Hurricanes have a distinct structure that can be seen on satellite photos. Do you know what the word structure means?
Built.
It's kind of like the buildup, the foundation. So you can look at a picture and know that it's a hurricane because of the structure, or like you said, the buildup of that storm. Great job. Clouds extend out as spiraling arms for hundreds of kilometers around the center. The center of a hurricane is called the eye. Did you know that? That the center of the hurricane's name is the eye, and here's a picture of the eye of a hurricane. Winds become more and more intense from the edge of the storm to the eye wall. So, just like you have an eye, hurricanes have an eye, and that's the center of the hurricane. The eye wall is where winds rushing toward the center suddenly turn upward. The upward moving air rapidly cools and begins to fall. Most of the rainfall occurs in the eye wall. Some rainfall reaches 20 millimeters of rain per hour, which can dump about 15 to 30 centimeters in one area for several days. So far, what are some of the effects of this hurricane? If we look back, we talked about they had to evacuate. So one effect is that they're so severe that they have to evacuate the premises, right?
Yeah.
And what else? Another effect are the winds become more and more intense. Sometimes the rainfall is so high that they have to dump. There's like 15 to 30 centimeters dumped of rain in one area for several days. So there can be so hurricanes can cause it to just rain and rain and rain and nonstop. So it's raining here today. Could you imagine if it just rained so much for like the next week that there was like puddles of water everywhere you went? Would that be enjoyable?
No.
No, I don't think so either. I don't like the rain. So let's keep reading and see other effects of the hurricane. Yet, inside the eye, it's often calm and sunny. Most hurricane eyes are 30 to 60 kilometers in diameter. In the eye of a hurricane, the peacefulness will not last long. Soon the eye will move and the southern fourth of the other side of the storm will hit. So that's only from half of the storm. The whole hurricane hasn't even touched down, and only half of the storm did that much damage. As hurricanes approach shore, the combination of high winds and low air pressure actually raises the level of the sea around the storm higher than normal. Scientists call this a storm surge. It extends for miles around the center of a hurricane and floods any low coastal land. Flooding caused by a storm surge is a major source of property damage from hurricanes. So what's another effect that hurricanes have?
It extends for miles around the center of a hurricane.
Right, and storm surges, meaning that the water where the hurricane is going to land by is actually already risen, so it makes the water higher, and that's another terrible effect of hurricanes because it causes a lot of flooding. So imagine if the whole city of Cincinnati flooded because of a hurricane. That wouldn't be pretty good.
And what?
No, it wouldn't be.
It's time to work. Okay?
So let's look into how hurricanes form. Okay. Well, for the sake of time, we're going to stop with that one. We'll pick up back here next time with how hurricanes form. But I want us to go on and I'm going to ask you we're going to talk about cause and effect in relation to the story about hurricanes, okay? So here's the text that we can use to refer back to if we need to. All of these cards have different words on them that we're going to use to make sentences about what happened in the story as far as cause and effect. So you're comfortable with cause and effect. So can you pick some of these cards with the signal words because and cause that we talked about and form sentences to show the effects of hurricanes? So let's see what you came up with. You said a hurricane is coming because wind speed picks up. And that is absolutely correct.
And there's more than one right answer. You can
Yeah.
use them for lots of.
So let's see what other combinations you can come up with. So wind speeds definitely do indicate that a hurricane is coming. What other combination? Let's look and see what you said. You said hurricanes because a hurricane is coming. There's a better option we can pick. If you want to use the one about hurricanes, because hurricanes, let's say some people buy plywood. That can make sense. So some buy plywood because hurricanes are coming, meaning they have to prepare themselves. Can you make another connection with these terms?
Okay. 4 questions left. Any? Is this a boy or girl? Boy or girl? Boy. Good job. Is this boy or they? Boy or they? They. Boy or they? Good job. 2 more questions.
So you said wind speed pick up. Wind speed picks up because of giant circular storms. which is absolutely true as well. Good job, Sean. So you were able to correctly talk about the causes and effects of hurricanes. Can you give me one more cause and effect that's not here that you remember from the story?
I'm gonna go file.
Sounds good. Okay.
Jeremy.
Alright, good job. Good job.
Let's look at this one and see if it makes sense. A tropical storm gains energy because gigantic circular storms. So it does, but is that a direct cause and effect? In a way. But let's make a better statement by saying a tropical storm gains energy because wind speeds pick up. Does that make sense? And does that sound similar to what the story was describing about how hurricanes form?
Yeah.
Yeah. So which of these is the cause?
Wind speed picks up.
And the effect is
Tropical storm gains energy.
awesome job.
You ready to take a walk?
Yeah.
Can you stop?
Good job, Sean.
Let's go walk.